So animal agriculture is a huge strain on our environment and a leading cause of climate change. And so when we produce animals, it is not an efficient way to produce calories for humans. Even chickens, which are the most efficient, it's 9 calories in for 1 calorie out of meat. So when we take this and we make it plant-based instead, we can actually just use all the nutrients in that and be far more efficient.
This is the Healthy Lifestyle Solutions podcast, and I'm your host, Maya Acosta. If you're willing to go with me, together we can discover how simple lifestyle choices can help improve our quality of life and increase our longevity in a good way. Let's get started. All right. So Maya here with Healthy Lifestyle Solutions podcast, and I have JJ Kass with Tindle. Hi, JJ.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
First, tell us what brings you to the Vegan Women's Summit this year.
Yeah, so I work for Tindle, which is a plant-based chicken company. We actually are a sub-brand of a larger company called Next Gen Foods that also makes a plant-based ice cream called Moi. So we're here today because we are a plant-based vegan alternative company, and we want to be part of this community of women and introduce our products to all of these people and be kind of part of this platform. And for us, all of this started with sustainability. So our product was started with the mission to help save the planet. That's actually where the name Tyndall comes from. So a lot of people don't know the name John Tyndall, but he was a physicist who initially discovered what we now call the greenhouse gas effect. So the name of the brand is actually an ode to him. So everything we do is around that climate change factor. So being here with like-minded individuals, hearing everyone speak, introducing our product to them, that's really the goal.
Well, talk about introducing the product. So I had some samples because we have a food truck out here at the summit, and I was enjoying the DJ, and I looked over and I saw the little what looked like a Happy Meal. Of course, I had to go over there and I grabbed a few samples, and so the chicken nuggets are delicious. Tell us more about where people can find this overall, anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tyndall launched actually during the pandemic and went fully into food service. So we serve restaurants today. So we're in now thousands of restaurants worldwide, actually across 9 countries. In the U.S., it's one of our biggest markets. So you can find us in many restaurants in every single city. We do have a really big focus on vegan restaurants. And we're finding that vegan restaurants are absolutely loving our chicken product from a taste and texture comparison. And so actually what you tried, what looked like the Happy Meal box, it's from one of our restaurant partners called Mr. Charlie's. And they've made what has now been dubbed the vegan McDonald's. And they actually call it a frowny meal. So if you notice, the box has a little sad face on it. They're currently in LA and San Francisco, but they have big plans to expand. But everything they do on their menu is mimicking the McDonald's menu, but all with plant-based products like Tyndall. Yeah.
Sort of like what we had with Project Pollo, which was mimicking the other restaurant, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
so that's a lot of fun. So tell us more about the sustainability in terms of why this is a better alternative as opposed to just having regular chicken.
Yeah, so animal agriculture is a huge strain on our environment and a leading cause of climate change. And so when we produce animals, it is not an efficient way to produce calories for humans. Even chickens, which are the most efficient, it's 9 calories in for 1 calorie out of meat. So when we take this and we make it plant-based instead, we can actually just use all the nutrients in that and be far more efficient. So when you think about that whole supply chain and what's required to keep a chicken alive, to grow it until it is slaughtered, you're adding water, greenhouse gas emissions, land, and so when you look at any plant-based meat, but chicken as well, significantly less across all of those factors. So Tyndall is no different than that, along with all of our other plant-based partners who are doing the same thing for the environment.
This is a wonderful way to help the environment. Now, Tyndall only has the one product, the chicken product, is that right?
Yeah, so Tyndall is the plant-based chicken brand, but we have several products within that lineup. Yeah, so within chicken, we have our Chef's Edition, which is our first product we launched with, which is actually a moldable chicken substance that chefs can cook just like they cook chicken. So I don't know if you watched the chef competition today, so there were 3 chefs who were competing using, it was like in a Top Chef style. They had Tindle, Impossible, and Wicked Kitchen, and they were using our Chef's Edition. So they could cook it in any way you cook chicken. It can be molded, shaped, cooked however you want. But then we also have within food service service a whole lineup of products that are breaded. So the nugget, which you had, and if you had the chicken sandwich, that's our chicken sandwich patty. We also have tenders that are available today in restaurants, and we're getting ready to release a wing as well. That's a boneless wing, which is amazing. If you're coming to the after party tonight, we'll be serving that there. Yeah, and then we also are getting ready to launch in retail. So that's really exciting for us. We know that's how we can reach mass consumers everywhere. And within retail, we now have several breaded SKUs that are readily available to launch. So we're stay tuned for an update there on who we'll be launching with in the US. We're already in Europe with our retail products. But we just released, actually last week, a press release announcing our newest innovation, which we're calling TrueCut, which is new whole muscle technology that we developed in-house. And so we have an R&D team that has decades of plant-based experience in protein, fiber, and fat. And they've developed this product that is truly indistinguishable from chicken. And we're making a whole suite of products that are whole muscle focused with that new technology. It's still an early release. We don't have a launch partner yet that we're announcing, but stay tuned for that because that's going to be a game changer for us.
Yeah, definitely have to stay tuned for that. Now, the Tindle right now, the product itself, what is it made out of? Mm-hmm.
So the Tindle, the core meat to Tindle is 9 ingredients. The first ingredient is water, and then wheat and soy are primary protein sources. But all the ingredients are things you can pronounce. You look at the label. There's nothing scary behind it. Vegetable fats, things like that. And then obviously the breading system is additional ingredients on that. But the core product is a soy and wheat gluten product. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you that it's exceptionally good, and compared to anything else that I've tried in terms of chicken kind of replacement. So it's a good meal. What other things would you like my listeners to know? I talk about health a lot here on the podcast. One reason why I wanted to come to the Vegan Women's Summit is sort of just because bringing more wonderful women on the show that are entrepreneurs, that are investors, in that whole space of empowering women is very important to me.
Yeah, I love that. For me, women over 40, I mean, we know these are the people making choices about food in their homes. So they are the ones setting the dinner menu, buying the groceries. As much as we want to put that onto the other gender, it doesn't always happen. So I'm very grateful for your listeners for thinking about food as part of that story, because it's so easy. We're all so busy. Most women have full-time jobs now, and I mean, even if you don't and you're raising kids, you're so busy planning meals for your family. It's so easy to resort to what's convenient and what's simple and just grab something from the frozen section and put it on the plate. And I mean, I grew up with a mom who was a stay-at-home mom and planned all our meals and cooked everything thoroughly and made sure we were healthy. And as a kid who went vegan, that was hard for her. Like, it was a real challenge to think about, how do I make sure my teenage daughter who's growing and developing is getting protein and is eating healthy. And one thing that I'd encourage all the moms who are listening to think about and hopefully be excited about trying is we're bringing some of those elements of that convenience to make their lives easier with just better products today. So Tindle is creating products that are comparable to chicken in their nutritional makeup, so that you can be confident your kids are getting protein, and you can be confident what you're getting is healthier than the meat alternatives on the plate. And hopefully it's getting easier and easier to make sure kids like me who are deciding to go vegan because they get it, to be fed by their parents in an easy way that's getting them everything they need. And so my hope is that all your listeners are open and curious and continue to try new products too, because the innovation is mind-blowing. I'm sure you tried things today that you couldn't even believe were plant-based. I mean, I know I did. And so continue to try new products. And don't just think that the vegan products of 10 years ago is all that exists today, because we are innovating so quickly and the products just keep getting better and better.
Yeah. And you know what, you bring up a good point, and I was just thinking about this in terms of, the woman sometimes in the household may be the only one that's vegan. So sometimes her husband is still a little reluctant, the children are taking their time, they're not really sure if they want to make the change. However, a nice replacement, sort of like having something like Tindle in their home, would be a nice way for everybody to kind of start to see if they want to go vegan, to sample something that mom doesn't have to cook 2 different meals for everybody.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's versatile enough that your meat eaters are going to love it. And it really is targeting that flexitarian audience, which we as Tyndall care so much about. We know it's the only way to make a real meaningful impact is to have delicious products everyone wants to eat.
Well, thank you so much, JJ. Tell us, first of all, how can people learn more about Tyndall? And then what about you? Would you like to share your social media?
Yeah, absolutely. People can follow us on Tindle at Tindle Foods. That's our Instagram handle. Also on our website, Tindle.com. People can sign up for our email list and stay tuned for restaurant launches in their city or grocery store launches, which will hopefully be coming very soon in the U.S. So definitely follow along there. Like my name's JJ Kass, and I'm JJ Kass everywhere. So you can find me on all the social media platforms that way.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing what else will happen. Thank you again. You've been listening to the Healthy Lifestyle Solutions podcast with your host, Maya Acosta. If you've enjoyed this content, please share with one friend who can benefit. You can also leave us a 5-star review at ratethispodcast.com/HLS. This helps us to spread our message. As always, thank you for being a listener.